Hello, in this video, I want to explain to you the difference between HMO licensing requirements and HMO planning requirements. This is a topic that people get very confused about, and in fact so much so it puts a lot of people off doing HMO properties because they just don't understand the regulations and the requirements. And that's a real shame because HMOs are one of the best strategies to quickly replace your income. So let me explain what you need to know. So my name is Simon Zutshi. I've been investing in property since 1995, and I got my first student HMO in 1998. So I understand a little bit about licensing and planning, and it's understandable people get confused about these, so I want to make this as simple as possible. So first of all, let's talk about HMO planning requirements. So if you have a large HMO with 7 or more people living in that property, it's no longer seen as a normal residential property, and you have to apply for a change of use to make it sui generis, which means in a class of its own. So that's for 7 or more tenants, larger HMOs. If you have a smaller HMO for up to 6 people, in most areas you can take a normal house, you can convert it into an HMO for up to 6 people, and you do not need planning permission because you can use permitted development rights. However, in an area that has been made an Article 4 direction area, what that means is the local council don't really want more HMOs, so they've introduced Article 4 direction. And what that means is it's withdrawing the permitted development rights. So therefore, if you're in an Article 4 direction area, it means if you want to take a normal house and turn it into an HMO for up to 6 people, you would also need to apply for planning permission. Now, the whole point is the council don't want more HMOs, so it's likely that that planning application will be automatically rejected. Now, you can always appeal, and if it meets the criteria, it might be that you do get planning permission. But what you don't want to do is go and buy a house in an Article 4 direction area thinking you could just turn it into an HMO because you probably won't be able to do it. So that's planning. Let's look at that on one side. The other thing I want to talk about is HMO licensing. Now, it used to be that if you had a property with 5 or more tenants on 3 or more floors, you would need to apply for a mandatory HMO license. However, in October 2018, the government changed the regulations. So now that any property with 5 or more tenants needs to have an HMO license, and they are unrelated tenants. So if it's a family of 5, that's not an HMO. If it's 5 or more unrelated people, that needs a license. However, you need to check with your local council because in some areas, some councils say 3 or more people who are unrelated needs an HMO license, because that is actually the technical description of an HMO, 3 or more unrelated people living in a shared accommodation. So it's important you check with your local council to understand if the property needs licensing or not. Now, what you need to understand, as I said before, planning and licensing are totally separate matters. You might have a property that requires a license but doesn't need planning, or one that needs planning and doesn't need a license, or one that needs planning and licensing, or one that needs neither. So it's really important to understand the fundamentals. You must think about planning separately first and then think about licensing to understand what the requirements are. It is important that if something does need planning or does need licensing, you adhere to the regulations, because you could get fines, you could get, if it's planning, you might have to change the property. So it's really important you understand the regulations and follow them. Now, the thing is, most people don't understand this. Most people don't bother to educate themselves, and so they get put off actually doing HMOs because they don't really understand it. As I've explained, once you know how this works, it's actually pretty straightforward. And I maintain that HMOs are one of the best strategies to quickly replace your income. On my 12-month Property Mastermind program, we teach many, many different strategies. Just one of the strategies is HMOs, but a lot of people like HMOs and do HMOs because it's the quickest way for them to replace their income. So I do hope this video has been useful to you. If you like it, please do like it, please share it, please tell people about it. And also, why not subscribe to this channel? But also, I've prepared 3 special training videos all about HMOs, houses of multiple occupation, to show you exactly how you can profit from those. If you'd like to benefit from those, click on the link below. We're going to be releasing them very soon. Just register your details. And I do want you to register. I'm not going to send to everyone. I only want to send to people who want information about HMOs. So go and register right now, and we'll get those videos to you very soon. So my name's Simon Zutshi. Invest with knowledge. invest with skill.